Welcome to Creatively Optimized, the podcast for service businesses ready to shine online. I'm Jenny Belanger, the founder of Jenny B Designs, a web design studio that builds strategic and beautiful websites that are designed to book you ideal clients and make you money. With over 10 years of growing my own design business, I'm here to share tips to creatively optimize your business. Get ready to learn web design strategies for high converting websites, digital marketing tactics to reach ideal customers, and systems to simplify operations. If you're ready to blend creativity and strategy, you're in the right place. Join me on this journey to creatively optimize your unique business. Let's do this. When you think about your current website, do you sometimes just want to throw up your hands and start anew? Or maybe you feel like it's still okay with a little bit of work. It could be a little bit better, and you don't want to scrap it all. Today's episode, I thought maybe I would chat with you about when you know it's time to build an entirely new website, or if you can actually salvage what you have and make it a little bit better. And I find that there's a fine line between these two. So let's chat about it today. If you're new to my world, my name is Jenny B. I own Jenny B Designs. I am a brand and web design studio, and I just really love helping others shine online, build a beautiful website that attracts your ideal clients and makes you money. And I love the beauty of design and the power it brings to everything, essentially. And so I just love helping others really bring out their personalities to life on their websites. So let's talk a little bit about it, because I find a lot of times clients come to me and they know that something isn't right, but they aren't sure if they need an entirely new website or not. Let's talk about how you know something isn't right. I always tell my people out in the world, how do you know when you're ready to work with me? You know that you need help from a website designer when you're embarrassed to send people to your website. When you are out in a networking event and you're handing out your card or you're telling people about your business and you say, go find me on Instagram. Don't go to my website. It really doesn't, show what I'm all about. Or, yeah, don't go to my website. Let's connect. Send me a DM or find me on LinkedIn. That's the best way to connect. I want you to feel so happy and proud of the website that you have out there. I want you to feel like it represents you and your business today, and that you know deep in your heart that when you're sending someone to your website, they're going to learn exactly what you do, how you're able to help make their lives better, and more importantly, it's going to do the hard work for you and direct them to taking the next step into working with you, be it through a consultation call or sending an inquiry or things like that. So the first thing is that you're embarrassed to send people to your website. And you know that your website doesn't really reflect who you are and what you do today. And another reason that you would know would be that your social media presence, specifically Instagram, because I find a lot of people spend a lot of time on Instagram and Facebook as well, but mostly on Instagram, it doesn't match your presence of your website. You probably have put a lot more effort into social media. You have some really great templates or graphics that you're using, some fun fonts and colors, but it doesn't match the look and feel and the vibe of your website. And there's that disconnect. You always need congruence between the two. And the third reason why you would need to work with me is that your website isn't making you money. And by that, I mean it's not getting inquiries for you. It's not selling your products. It's not increasing your visibility and positioning you as a thought leader. And so that would be another reason why it would be time to get in touch with me. So understanding why you would reach out to me, a lot of times people feel all these things and they say, okay, great. Now it's time to get in contact with Jenny. And so we chat and they say to me, I like my website right now, but I know it can be better. Can we refresh the website that I have, or do I need an entirely new website? And here is the honest truth. Sometimes refreshing the website that you have is essentially just rebuilding a website on your current website's footprint. It's really hard to refresh a website. And let me talk about why. And there are some examples that I have come across that a refresh makes sense. But when you come to me, I want to understand what is the main factor driving this rebuild? Is it that you have new branding? You have some new colors and fonts and a new logo? Or is that part of the project that you want to have a new brand? And then copy, the words on your page, is that part of the project? Do you have new words that you want to incorporate that really reflect who you are at this point in time and at this point in time in your business? And is there going to be new imagery? These are kind of like the three different pieces of the puzzle when it comes to your website. And then looking at your current website, how was it built? Is it a WordPress website that was built a long time ago with a theme? A lot of older websites were built with themes, and they kind of stopped producing themes and keeping themes updated as the rise of the page builders started, such as Elementor, which I use, or Divi, or if you use another page builder. So a lot of times when you built a WordPress website a few years ago or back in the day, it was built with a theme and it's no longer supported and no longer updated. But let's just say you built your website a couple of years ago using the page builder Elementor, which is what I use today. So you know that you have a solid base to your website. Then from there, I guess the next question is, let's look at those three components of the website. You have that copy, the visual imagery, and the words. Are you replacing just one? Are you replacing two out of the three? Or are you replacing all three? And here are some examples when I think it might work to actually refresh the website that you have. Because let's be honest, I know it's a large undertaking to create a new website. It's a large investment and it takes time, although I try to minimize that time component because I really strive to complete my websites within a month. But I know it takes a lot. And if possible, we all are kind of torn in so many directions. I absolutely want to help my clients, get the best bang for their buck and return on their investment. So if we can refresh a website, then I really suggest that we do that. But there are really only certain times that it actually works. So let's talk about some of the times that it does. The first thing to look at is that structure, like I mentioned. So let's say that you built your website a couple of years ago and you're using a page builder like Divi or Elementor. Then from there, I know that the structure is really sound. So then let's look at what are you looking to refresh? If you are looking to refresh your overall branding, so you just want to get your new colors there and your new fonts, and you're looking to keep your photos and your copy pretty much similar, then that, I think, is a good time to refresh the current site that you have. Doing something like that, I've done it for a bunch of my clients. It is possible to do. It's more about cleaning up those global settings, changing those colors and those fonts, and then going through to make sure that everything works well with the design that you currently have on your website, integrating that new branding onto that design. So that's one example when it would be okay to refresh a website. Another example is if you have new copy. So I just worked with a client. We built her site a few years ago, and then she changed a little bit. And so she had new copy written. So we refreshed the current site that she had with her new copy. And that's a great example of a refresh. She was fine with her visual branding. The design was really beautiful, and the imagery that she had on there worked, but the copy needed to be replaced. And so that we were able to do, replacing the copy in the current design and modifying the design a little bit, because when you have new copy, it's not going to be the exact same length and the exact same, formation that you had as your previous copy, but it's something that can be done and you can refresh your website that way. So that's another good example when you just have some copy to replace. The third is when you have new imagery. So you had a brand shoot, or you have new product photos, or you just want some fresh images on your website. That is a great way and a great thing to do to refresh the look and feel of your current site. And that's something that I do for a few of my other clients. We do that sometimes even quarterly when they're creatives and they have projects. So we do like a portfolio refresh and things like that. That's a great time and a great way to refresh the current website that you have. So in my mind, if you have one of those elements that you need to update on your website, then I think a refresh is a great idea for you. When you have two or more of those components, so the visual branding, the imagery, and the copy, if you have two or more, then it really comes down to rebuilding the website. There's really no getting around it because the design flows from your visual branding and then it flows through the copy, which dictates the length and the look and feel of the sections. And then it has added that extra visual component from the imagery that you have. And these three all flow together. So when you are changing more than one, in my opinion, it's just best to redesign a new website from scratch. And sometimes people will tell you, I've talked to a lot of designers out there that do say that they refresh, but what they're doing is they're really just building a new website and calling it a refresh. And at the end of the day, in my opinion, I think that if you're going to spend all that time and effort into doing a project like that, it's best to start off fresh, to know that what you are building is on a new, fresh base, and that you're able to create something unique and specific to your business so that as you grow and as you change and evolve, that this new site can grow and change and evolve as you do. To recap, there are three components on your website: your visual branding, your copy, and your imagery. And if your foundation of your website is built on a solid platform, so not a theme from a long time ago, but using a page builder, if you're using WordPress, or if you have Squarespace, if you're up to date with your builder, if you have a solid base for your website and you're just replacing one out of the three items, then I think a refresh is definitely doable. But if you need to replace more than one, so visual branding, copy, and imagery, then I think that it's probably time for a full redesign project. And there you go. And like I said, I really love helping others shine. And I know when a lot of people think about a website redesign project, they sometimes dread it and they think it's going to be, so time intensive and just not fun. But I really try to bring some joy and ease to the process and elevate the whole experience and make it so that my clients can really enjoy the process and get to understand their business as it is today and learn what would make the best way to demonstrate and bring themselves out onto the online space and to the world. So if you think that you might be in need of a website refresh or a website redesign, I would love to help you with the project. And if you're unsure if you need a redesign or a refresh, reach out. I'd be happy to have a quick chat and point you in the right direction so that you know what you're looking for when you go talk to some designers to figure out who you want to work with and what your next step would be. If you have any questions, definitely reach out to me and I will look forward to talking to you in the next episode. Thanks so much for listening to this podcast all the way to the end. I really appreciate you being here. Please make sure to subscribe to the podcast, rate, review, and share it with someone else you know it can help. If you like this episode, then I want to invite you to visit jennybdesigns.com, where you'll find videos and resources to help make your current website work even harder for you. And if you're feeling like your current website doesn't truly reflect you or your brand today, it's not attracting your ideal clients or making sales, or maybe you just feel embarrassed by it and it's holding your business back, then reach out. I'd love to help you design a website that truly reflects you, works for you 24/7, bringing in those ideal clients and making you money. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time for another new episode.